Now, fans that either sold their tickets or whatever, all of a sudden an emphasis is starting to get thrown onto the tickets where people believe she will be playing. And that's starting to make the ticket prices go up, and up.
The Federal Reserve might need to step in. Ticket prices are soaring like she's hitting threes in zero gravity. Viewership is shattering records. Fans are practically auctioning kidneys for courtside seats. What kind of magic is this? Is she LeBron, Steph, and Taylor Swift rolled into one? All this madness ignited by Caitlin Clark's comeback from injury.
In fact, ticket sales are down 70% in many places. The Fever played the Mystics 2 nights ago. The cheapest ticket before her injury was announced was $41, okay? The cheapest one. After her injury was announced and people knew that she wasn't going to be playing, the lowest ticket price dropped to $3. This is the Caitlin Clark effect. The WNBA doesn't quite realize what they have in Caitlin Clark. She is the absolute golden goose, the golden ticket. She is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. They must protect her at all costs.
Caitlin Clark isn't just dribbling basketball, she's dribbling bank accounts, headlines, and egos. And the WNBA? It's getting posterized without even knowing it. Let's be real. There's a before Caitlin Clark and an after Caitlin Clark. Before her, ticket prices were chilling. After her, they're dunking straight through your wallet into luxury tax territory.
Don't hate the player, hate the game she got, because she's really talented, especially for being Palangi, She's like the Stephen Curry of WNBA with the threes and stuff. Like, proven fact is, they had a game on June 7th scheduled, it was going to be Angel Reese's team, which plays for Chicago. And then for Caitlin Clark's team, they were supposed to go up there playing Chicago on June 7th. First, the ticket sales were at $76 a ticket. Then after they found out Caitlin Clark's not playing that game, she got injured, sales dropped to $25 a ticket.
What's really heating up isn't just Caitlin Clark's gameites, the meltdown energy from some WNBA vets who missed the memo. Bigger audience means more money, so maybe take a breath. The Caitlin Clark effect isn't just about her dropping 30 points, it's bigger. Everywhere. Like oxygen in the arena. Even when she's not playing, numbers jump, merch flies off shelves, TV ratings climb. Security's on edge because the crowd's acting like Taylor Swift just pulled up to an NFL game.
In fact, ticket sales are down 70% in many places. The Fever played the Mystics 2 nights ago. The cheapest ticket before her injury was announced was $41, okay? The cheapest one. After her injury was announced and people knew that she wasn't going to be playing, the lowest ticket price dropped to $3. This is the Caitlin Clark effect. The WNBA doesn't quite realize what they have in Caitlin Clark. She is the absolute golden goose, the golden ticket. She is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. They must protect her at all costs. You can argue all you want if she's the best player in the league, but you absolutely cannot argue if she's the most important, because she is. She is more valuable than all the other players combined, and that is just a fact.
And here's the kicker: some WNBA players look like they'd rather defend a fast break barefoot than admit what's really happening. You'd think the league would roll out a red carpet for someone single-handedly dragging the whole organization into the national spotlight like a point guard on assignment from ESPN. But instead, some players are acting like Caitlin showed up, snatched their lunch money and their endorsement deals.
The NBA is now suffering a major injury as Caitlin Clark is going to be out for 2 weeks with a quad injury. And the reason we're bringing this up specifically is the Clarkonomics effect to this. Obviously, players miss time all the time, but the Sky and the Fever were supposed to play in Chicago in about a week on June 7th. The opening ticket price was $86 because you have the Angel Reese vs. Caitlin Clark showdown that is now box office. Yeah, those tickets are now down to $25. Down to $25 after the injury announcement. And it's supposed to take place in the Bulls Arena, the United Center, as opposed to the normal Wintrust Arena. That's about a 12,000 seat difference, give or take.
And the wildest part? Even on her off nights, the Caitlin Clark effect is still in full force. She doesn't suit up, and the arena's still packed. People are showing up just hoping she might make an appearance. Who else gets that kind of pull? Certainly not the ones posting passive-aggressive Instagram stories about respecting the vets. Yeah, We respect you, but we also respect the 2.5 million viewers tuning in to watch Caitlyn get triple-teamed at half court. Some players still don't get it. Clark isn't their competition. She's their elevator. But instead of getting on, a few are too busy trying to cut the cables. On the surface, it's welcome to the league. But underneath? It's all side eyes, body checks, and talk about rookies needing to earn it. Sure, January, but apparently earning it doesn't include being the only reason your next game is on national TV for the first time in over a decade. The veteran envy? Louder than a buzzer beater in overtime. And the irony? Caitlyn doesn't even move like a diva. She's not asking for special treatment, just launching logo threes like her shot chart runs on GPS. Meanwhile, some players seem more focused on gatekeeping the league than growing the game.
This support system, that shouldn't change. I think, Caitlyn knows that she has ears and eyes in the locker room, and the support that she has behind, whether it's us or anybody else. I would like to think that she knows it's there, and to really take her time and make sure that she's, well enough to be who she needs to be for us, because I want the 100% Caitlyn, so I'll take it.
Then comes the media circus. The moment Caitlyn Clark touches the ball, it's full breakdowns, analysts losing their minds, and camera angles so intense they might as well be using drones. It's ESPN meets National Geographic tracking the wild Caitlyn in her natural hardwood habitat. The league's social numbers spike, and suddenly, casual fans are breaking down zone defense on TikTok. You'd think players would be popping champagne over the exposure. Instead, we get side commentary like, "She hasn't proven herself yet." Girl's done more in 15 minutes than some franchises have done in 15 seasons. And the wild part? Even when she doesn't play, it's a whole event. People are showing up like she's about to storm the tunnel. Scalpers are charging like she's headlining Coachella, while some teams haven't had this kind of buzz since the Obama years. One rookie's absence is drawing more attention than some teams' entire starting five. And still stealth resistance. A parade of cryptic tweets, passive quotes, and locker room side eyes from players acting like Clark invented the spotlight. Sure, she's a rookie, but she's a rookie filling more seats than your last 3 playoff runs combined.
Turns out she's human after all, Dan. She's going to be out for at least a couple of weeks, it appears.
Yeah, what's interesting about Caitlyn Clark? Remember last year, she played in the Final Four. Right after that, she went immediately to the WNBA. Draft came, season started, and, didn't miss a beat. And all of a sudden, she got a little rest and comes back, gets a little banged up. I heard you talking about it earlier, and it's going to be fascinating to me, Ricky. I've been to Fever games, and the one thing you notice, and this is more so than even when Peyton Manning was the quarterback of the Colts.
The cognitive dissonance is real. Yes, the WNBA has always had stars. Diana Taurasi could probably elbow a brick wall, and the wall would apologize. But Caitlyn Clark brings something different: cultural velocity. The same kind Serena had. The same kind Tiger had. It's that rare lightning in a Gatorade bottle magic you can't teach, coach, or copy. And no one's claiming she's flawless. Clark gets blocked, stripped, makes turnovers. But even her mistakes trend. She takes a charge, Twitter blows up. She gets hip-checked, it's a full-blown sports radio debate. She scratches her nose, 5 blogs ask if she's injured. That's not hype, that's impact. And it's not because she demanded it, but because she earned it. She didn't just arrive, she ignited. And if the league were smart, it would be bottling that energy, not trying to contain it with salty press conferences and unnecessary elbows. Yet some players are out here trying to humble her like it's a rite of passage. Girl, this isn't a sorority, it's a business. And right now, Caitlyn Clark is the best sales pitch the WNBA's ever had.
Word to describe Caitlyn Clark.
Amazing.
Yes.
A beast. She is the truth. She's the truth, and she was a rookie. Knock down the three-pointer, get to the rim. She can get to the free throw line. She's crafty.
Yeah, very crafty.
Crafty, so sometimes she look like she's coming off for a three-point shot and she backdoors you for a layup. She gets her teammates involved. She can pass, she can shoot. Man, she is the complete...
And that's the real drama. Even fans outside the WNBA bubble are starting to notice the difference in how Caitlyn Clark is treated. Is this how we welcome the player pulling millions of new eyes to the sport? Apparently, if you're still recovering from being left off Nike's shortlist. The sad part? This should have been the easiest alley-oop in league history. Take the spotlight, lift everyone. Promote the players, sell more jerseys, lock in bigger TV deals, and grow the game. Instead, half the league is acting like Clark's success is an invasion, not a revolution. Every time she steps on the court or doesn't, the league becomes a bigger story. Yet some players seem more focused on gatekeeping than building a legacy. And that's the tragedy. This could be a golden era if egos weren't pressing full court on progress. Yes, Caitlin Clark is a rookie, but she's already holding the ball, the spotlight, and about $50 million in market power circling her like a pick and roll. Whether she's draining logo threes or just sipping Gatorade on the bench, the Caitlin Clark effect is very real. Now the league has two choices: run with it, or get left behind in transition.
Crazy was this season versus the seasons past.
Our jersey sales were up 1,193%. The Caitlin Clark effect is real, and we're thrilled about it. But it brought visibility to the whole team of the Fever and to the WNBA. But if we just want to keep it in Indiana, we look at ticket sales sold out every night, over 17,000 fans in our games at home. When Caitlin announced that she was coming out into the draft on a Thursday afternoon, from that time to Sunday night, we had over 6,000 phone calls, people wanting to buy season tickets. But even something as simple as our terrific mascot, Freddie Fever, his appearance requests went up 150% this season. So you talk about the Fever, the team, which is what we've been working on,
Let's be clear. When the crowd screams louder for warm-ups than they do for tip-off, you're not just watching a gamuree witnessing a shift. Caitlin Clark didn't break the WNBA. She reminded everyone just how massive it could be. And for some, that reality is a tough pill to swallow, especially if you thought the only person with real pull was your agent. And just when you think it couldn't get more cartoonishly off-base, enter Cathy Engelbert, the WNBA commissioner, suddenly strutting like she slam dunked the league into mainstream relevance. She's out here giving PowerPoint presentations titled "How I Saved the WNBA," like Caitlin Clark is just an intern managing Gatorade orders on the sideline. Let's get real. Cathy Engelbert didn't drop 40 on South Carolina in the Final Four. She didn't shatter college viewership records, trigger a national merch frenzy, or make men who'd never watched women's sports suddenly Google what a dribble handoff is. But now she's parading around like a marketing mastermind who conjured all this with a press release and a Pinterest board. This isn't a team-building success story. The Caitlin Clark effect is a cultural quake, and you're just lucky to be hanging onto the rim while the whole sport shakes beneath you.
Shame on you. Cathy Engelbert pens this beautiful article written by Cathy, about Cathy, for Cathy, explaining why she is solely responsible for the boom of the WNBA. Folks, I wish I was kidding, but I'm not. The commissioner of the WNBA on transferring the league ahead of a breakout season. And what was that plan that Cathy Engelbert put in place? Working in partnership with my new WNBA team members, NBA colleagues, and WNBA owners, we developed a strategy with 3 pillars. The league would think player first.
If you really want to test the theory, take Caitlin Clark out of the equation. Poof, gone. Suddenly, that roaring crowd feels more like a high school reunion at a silent disco. ESPN coverage? Back to being buried under cornhole tournaments and 2012 bowling reruns. And ratings? Let's just say they'd be limboing under basement level. But meanwhile, Cathy, she's on a press tour, treating every microphone like a TED Talk opportunity, dropping phrases like strategic growth initiatives as if she's Steve Jobs unveiling the WNBA iPhone. Sure, Cathy, because obviously the nation suddenly tuned in to Indiana Fever games because of your Q2 marketing projections. Nothing says mainstream appeal like teams that, 2 seasons ago, couldn't fill the second row at a bake sale. But now Cathy's acting like Caitlin's just a backup dancer in the Cathy Saves the WNBA tour, when in reality, the entire show would still be rehearsing in a YMCA gym if Clark hadn't walked in and turned the whole operation into a national obsession. And instead of rolling out a statue, we're getting keynote speeches about behind-the-scenes efforts. Behind the scenes? The only thing back there is the reality check waiting to sack you the moment Caitlin Clark takes a week off.
Yes, man, you guys heard me correctly. None other than Kathy Engelbert is singing a different tune this season about Caitlin Clark. Now, we know last year she was talking about all of the other rookies being included in this, making a difference, being able to help contribute to the Big Bang of the WNBA. This time around, she's owing it all to Caitlin Clark. Me personally, I told y'all this at the beginning of the month. The chickens was coming home to roost for the WNBA, because I'm telling you right now, there has been a lot of spooky things going on and people is tired of it.
Let's be real, if Clark decided tomorrow to call it quits, the league would backslide faster than a player on a buttered floor. The truth is, one player dragged this whole organization into prime time, and now Kathy's trying to rebrand it as a group project. This isn't Kathy's master plan, it's Caitlin's highlight reel, and the league is just lucky to be riding shotgun. If the WNBA had any sense, they'd be bubble wrapping Caitlin Clark between games and hiring Secret Service to guard her like she's carrying the nuclear codes. Forget load management, this is legacy management. She's not just a rookie, she's the main event, the halftime show, and the entire ad campaign all rolled into one. And yet, every game, she gets clobbered like she's shopping a clearance sale with a full cart. She's drawing more fouls than a chicken nugget in a vegan cafe, and the refs just stand there like, play on, what are we playing? Mad Max Fury Court.
But Kathy Engelbert, in her naivete or in her delusion, she takes credit for it. Instead of saying it's because of Caitlin Clark, instead of saying it's because of the person from Iowa, instead of saying it was because of her, Kathy says, oh, it's all me. My strategy, my plan, my 3 pillars. In this entire article, Kathy Engelbert mentions Caitlin Clark's name 2, maybe 3 times. Angel Reese's name once. Cameron Briggs' name once. Let's get right into it, because this article, from start to finish, is disgusting.
Protect the investment. Caitlin Clark isn't just playing basketball, she's playing economic resurrection. She's the reason you're scrambling for tickets on resale apps that look like they're scalping Beyoncé. She's why media outlets are finally treating the WNBA like a real sports league, not some niche passion project stuck between horse racing and cornhole. You'd think the league would be on DEFCON 1, making sure their golden ticket isn't limping into press conferences with ice packs stapled to her soul. But instead, it feels like they're testing how much physical abuse she can take before turning into a walking insurance claim. This is your LeBron moment, your Serena moment, your Steph Curry moment. And yet, instead of building the Caitlin Clark cinematic universe, they're letting her get tackled like she accidentally wandered into an NFL scrimmage.
Black and white sports reporters, well, I think this pretty much closes the book on its Me Too. They're tuning in for Me Too. Oh, the WNBA's not going to like that. Oh, those Angel Reese trolls online that are trying to come for me and other YouTube channels, y'all aren't going to like this. Good. Too bad. I mean, it's more statistical proof, data, to confirm exactly what we've been saying, that Caitlin Clark is driving this whole ship, this whole bus. She's driving it, everybody else get in the back.
Meanwhile, the very players who should be thanking her for their suddenly fatter paychecks are throwing elbows like it's 1992 Pistons cosplay night. Caitlin doesn't need a reality check, she needs a security detail and a highlight reel aired before every game with a do not touch warning flashing on the screen. Because, let's be honest, without her, this season would feel about as exciting as a lukewarm decaf latte. So give her the props, shower her with praise, name an award after her, write her own rulebook, build a mid-season hologram statue, whatever it takes. Caitlin Clark didn't just show up, she showed out. It's time the WNBA treats her like the game changer she is.